Everybody, welcome to another episode of Cleaning and Cocktails. You know the deal. This season, a lot of the big things that I wanted to do, you guys, is do things on site with the people next to us. So we're in Denver, Colorado. We just got done with the Cleaning Profits event. We're giving these guys the chance to relax a little bit because you guys just put on a hell of a show.
Thank you.
Again, I had this vision of doing this episode after the event purposely, and I'm happy we did because I got a lot of questions for you guys. I know Ricky's got a lot of questions. But you guys know the deal. What we do on Cleaning and Cocktails is we share stories. We storytell. We bring cleaning industry professionals, which is another cool piece because a backstory to these guys. You guys are going to learn a lot about them and why they're doing what they're doing. Special shout out to Casa Azul. Thank you so much for setting us up. We are in Bar Taco, and I think is it called Lohi? Is it?
We call this the north side.
The north side. Yeah. North side, Lohi.
Yeah.
Bar Taco. We're here right now. We're gonna eat some delicious food, drink some great cocktails with some Casa Azul in there. But you guys, thank you for joining us. I know you're probably a little tired.
No, we're good.
Right?
We're ready.
Right. Special shout out also to my co-host Ricky Funk here in this sense. I got to bring you in too. You know?
Thank you.
Let's not talk about La Ruta, but
Not yet.
okay.
A few minutes.
That's the first one.
Angel, let's start with you. What we always like to do is set the tone on, I want you to introduce yourself. James, I want you to introduce yourself. We don't do justice when we introduce people. So go for it. And then the first question to answer thereafter is the cleaning industry. What made you choose the cleaning industry?
Well, first, why don't we just kick it off by cheers?
Cheers.
There you go. I have this drink staring at me. All right. So when you say story, you want me to what? It's a long story. Yeah. But I'll give you a quick.
Who are you today, though? Who is Angel Sandoval?
Okay. See, that's a deeper question than what's my story. See, that's the problem here.
That's your identity, Angel Sandoval.
Agent Sandoval. Agent Sandoval. Now, who am I? Or that's a tough question. No, but no, I've been doing in sales. I was in tech sales most of my life. I was born in Mexico, Juarez, Chihuahua. Came to El Paso, Texas, and then since then lived everywhere. Went to El Paso, Arizona, Denver. Now I live in Houston. And really, my main thing is I just love growth. I love learning from people. Right? It's like that immigrant mentality that Fernando was talking about. I travel a lot just so that I could be in proximity to people. That's it. So I found a tech company in Arizona that I really wanted to learn from, move over there. James was in Denver, moved over there. And then I had another
You go where the opportunity is.
Exactly. Where the right mentor is. I don't think about opportunity. I'll take like a pay cut any day to be next to the right person than more money around the wrong people. Yeah. So do you want me to answer why I'm in the cleaning or do you want me to let him
James, you step in.
So James Harper, born and raised Denver, Colorado. We recently just learned a cool way to introduce ourselves, which I really relate to.
No, you got to do it again.
No. So like if I were to describe like who I am and like what I do, really it's like I'm a connector and an initiator and a provider. Love to connect people, love to initiate opportunity, initiate and connect people, and then obviously provide for our team, family, provide value when and where I can. Sales guy. I think the biggest thing Angel and I have in common is when we first met, he said a sentence I've only heard myself say, which was sales saved my life. So sales guy by trade, and then the cleaning industry just, by the grace of God and fate is how we ended up there. So yeah, it's been a crazy windy road, but really sales connected us. And I just love people, and I love trying to make an impact.
It's a people industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
People industry.
Well, let me answer that one again then, because I feel like I just messed up. No, you're right. You're right. We did learn that, and we're trying to get better. I'm trying to get better.
We'll do it again.
He's doing it again. Yeah. Sorry. That's how we do it. No, I'm a man of God. I'm a challenger, and I'm a connector. That's like my identity.
So I listened to you guys, and I realized I'm a connector too. And this was like 2-3 weeks ago that you guys posted it online.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love to connect people. I love to bring opportunity to people. So, okay, I'm a connector too. I realized this a couple of weeks ago.
And not everybody's a connector either. I think everybody thinks because like they network, they're a good connector.
No,
but
there's a difference between networking and connecting.
Like, they're caretakers. Like there's some people that are literally great caretakers. I'll consider myself a caretaker, but no. If you put me in a situation, like I'm not a caretaker, right? I'm a provider. I'm a connector. I'm a challenger.
Trying to create that spark.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So
exactly.
So this is a great statement I want to make, even though we're going to talk about the statement you guys made. But like, you guys, I feel like we're cut from the same cloth. Let me explain why. people thought I was crazy for all the different things I was trying to do and the different brands and the things I said, hey, let's do it. Let's launch it. These guys have multiple brands. Do me a favor and introduce those that may not know who the Profitable Cleaner is and the other brands.
Yeah. Want to kick it off?
Yeah, cool. So we do have multiple brands, and sometimes that can get convoluted and confusing, as you know.
Yeah.
And like, what's your identity?
But there's a purpose for each
and
one.
all of that. That's absolutely right. So really, Profitable Cleaner, that's our podcast. That's kind of like where we like to educate and connect, just like you guys do on the Profitable Cleaner. Then that led to Cleaning Profits, which is the event that we just had. And then our primary business is Day Porter, which is really just like a virtual staffing, sales, and recruiting agency for facility maintenance companies.
Okay.
I appreciate that because
virtual team building. Because as we learned from your guy, you don't call them staff.
Yeah, that's
anymore.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
we're programming ourselves because staff is an infection. That's such a good line.
That's
by the
right.
way.
that's good.
And dig in. Dig in.
I appreciate that they explain all that because I've known you guys for 2 years now, 2.5, and I was confused about all the different brands.
100%.
Now
we
I
were
know.
confused
We
about
were
all the brands,
confused,
right?
man.
Like, because we just started. He used to have a company have agency flair, and then I had something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that was the first time I met you guys.
Yeah, so
it was
he
agency
had,
flip.
he had an agency. I wanted an agency. I was in sales, tech sales. He had his sales, so I reached out to him. He hired me as his sales coach. Then he brought me into the company. Then we became partners. Well, not even partners. Like people don't. Yeah, like we haven't been partners for so long, but people don't know that. So we were just working together. And then we decided, you know what? We're gonna commit to the. And then we had to pick an industry. And he just happened to have had one client that he's still with us. And we loved him and the way he trusts us, does business, the way a B2B sale and commercial cleaner takes a while. It's the right, like
It's a long
it's a
process.
strategic sale. It's not, people think it's not, unless you're going for like super, super small deals, right? Then that one's just more super contact. And so they're like, he's married to a facilities manager that oversees a $3 million contract. So we're just like,
There's the gateway. That's where it came.
that's where it all started. She was feeding, it was meant to be. And then we're like, I still remember we were after it was your son's birthday party, I flew down to Denver, and we're just sitting there and we're like, man, we really need to figure something out. And we're like, let's just commit. So we had other clients in software manufacturing. And we can sell anything,
Which
right?
is, then it's like, it's a lot, it's difficult, right? You got different verticals, different messaging.
Totally, man. Totally.
So we made a decision that night. I still remember sitting in his backyard. It was already dark. I was drinking a beer. I believe you were drinking water. And we were just like, let's just go for it. And we just went for it. So in order to go for it, though, you got to drop what you're currently doing. So we eliminated that business. We got rid of clients, and we doubled down on cleaning. And then that's where our creativity started coming. I mean, it's crazy to me to think that no one owned the word day porter.
Oh, I remember. I still remember that.
No one knows the word day porter, night porter.
Yeah.
If I showed you the domains that I have, you guys would be like,
Well, think about it too. When you're running
Now
a
we
cleaning
do. Or
company,
the domain
you're not
IDs.
thinking about domain names, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I am trying to find business and
Yeah, of
service
course.
contracts, you know?
Yeah.
So being on Day Porter, I wanted to dig a little deeper again because many people may not know
Yeah.
Day Porter. And to me, that is your guys' conduit, I think, is into the industry.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, yes, you guys are servants, you're providing value on multiple levels, but Day Porter, that's the baby, right? That
Yep.
allowed you guys to really connect with
Yep.
the industry. Explain a little bit more, like what pain points does Day Porter solve for a cleaning industry owner at any size? Or
Sure.
a cleaning company owner.
I'll take the first crack at that. It's evolved over the years, just like every business does. Like our initial goal was to let's try to provide life-changing contracts, because early on we were able to get a few like really high-end six-figure contracts for clients, all virtually, which was like awesome. But then not every market client is the same, and there's different struggles, right? So over the last 2.5, 3 years now, it's evolved to we were like, what makes us special? There's so many lead generation companies out there, so many sales companies. It's everywhere you can look. So we're like, what makes us special? It's actually the fact that our entire team is ran virtually, mainly in Nicaragua. Like, we believe that's what's special about them, those people. And that's ended up being, creating virtual teams. We are now we help cleaning companies with their recruiting, with their sales, operations,
customer service.
how to manage their time better. Because you can do a lot of this virtually, but the big thing is they call them VAs, virtual assistants. I hate that word because you're putting an identity on someone just because we work over Zoom or whatever.
Right.
but they're still people. And the biggest misstep why virtual teams don't typically work is because of the lack of leadership, because it's hard to connect over a screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you pour intentionality into really trying to lead and grow someone, even if it is virtual, watch your results skyrocket. So then that turned into, let's make training programs for like how we lead virtually.
Let's bring
Let's-
a community.
a
in. So,
community,
like, there's a Slack
yeah.
channel with like 32 Nicaraguans, Bolivians,
Yeah.
Costa Ricans, but they're all in the same industry. So it's almost like the events.
They're
the
starting
like
to work with
the
each other.
networks that they work. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. So someone's like, hey, I can't seem to get through this facilities managers. I don't have this. And they're like, what industry is he in? Blah, 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 blah. And then they give them like, oh, this has worked for me. This is how I would go about it. And so now it's like, they're more than assistants, right? They're professionals.
Well, think about it, in our industry, cleaners. Everybody says cleaners.
Yep.
Right? And we were like, man, technicians. These guys
Yeah,
are,
exactly.
they're janitorial technicians. They're clean. Like, add the word technician to describe
Yes.
the value they bring.
Totally.
I would tell you guys, like we were talking about off camera, I struggle with the virtual assistant program. But it's what you guys said is what I realized we failed at doing was it takes leadership. Like you can't just, I assumed, because I had heard, I had seen, oh, if you bring in VAs, they're going to solve your problems. Like
Yeah.
they're going to give you your time back. Awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
and then it's,
the first question they would ask Angel was, okay, cool. Well, like, what's the framework? Like, what are we doing? What are we working on? I'm like, oh, I got to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I got to build that.
Yeah.
yep.
So like, what is like, not that you have to say what the framework is, but like you guys obviously took time to
Yeah,
build that
process.
framework out,
totally.
right?
Totally. I'll let you answer that.
Yeah. You want to let me answer that? Okay. Well, I'm gonna get a taco because I see.
Yeah,
I
get
don't want
some-
that.
I'm the only one eating
I
here.
need
Come
the
on,
taco.
guys,
Hold
let's
on.
go.
Let's do a little. I don't want to let him eat by himself.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? That's like disrespectful. When you're Mexican, you don't let people eat on their
Let
own.
me have
bro.
some napkins.
Yeah.
The process things, honestly, Ricky, it's something that like we've been trying to figure out for years, and it's always evolving. And that's where I think Angel's done one hell of a job. Like I was like you, Ricky. I'm like, oh, let's bring in a VA, now solve my problem, and then they made a mess, right? And they made a mess not because of them, because of me. And then Angel's like, no, dude, we got to lead these people. So like,
This sounds so similar.
yeah. Yeah. So, and then it was like, not only do we have to lead these people, like we have to give them, like, let's call it industry training or technical training. He's like, no, we have to develop these people as people. Because like, if you're in a third world country, your mindset might not be
Your culture.
or your culture, exactly. Your surroundings might not be at the level of mindset we're thinking, right? So do I actually have a belief that I can go sell $1 million contract? Well, how do you develop a belief? It's not through technical training. It's through learning how to believe and think bigger. So like he brought that to the team, and then he processed it, and it's been really good.
I think a lot of companies already have their processes. They just gotta digitalize them, tweak them a little bit. So like we were always trying to insert the processes that we built, but where we have our main framework is gonna be finding the actual right employee. That's like where the main process comes. Does that make sense? Like
Good point.
his personality, your personality. If I were to hire you both executive assistants, it's different. Because you think different, you act different, you have different values, you work different times of day, you expect different things.
It would be tough
And
to
so
try to find
We work
somebody for-
different amount of hours.
Shut the fuck up.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So I'm from Argentina. You're from Mexico. We eat a lot of barbecue. We don't eat tacos. So is that how you eat tacos? You just take it apart and put it back
No,
together?
I didn't take it apart.
No,
it just started falling off, bro.
It falls back down. Hey, we're not here to judge people. Okay, hey,
Listen, bro.
right?
No.
Hey,
Don't judge.
I'm enjoying it so
Love.
much that I make a mess. You can't eat a taco and be clean if you're Mexican. That's a fact.
no.
If your plate ends
Dump
up like
it so
that,
down.
so pretty, you did something wrong when you ate it.
I'm failing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's way too clean, bro.
Leave it to the gringo.
All right, so I want to take a sidestep here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Being in the event, I was telling you, like, that's why I got up, and I wanted to really say, like, dude, the personal reflection piece. You guys hold prayer. You guys, speak the word of God a lot when you're doing these things. Very different. There's not many events in our industry that does that. So to me, that's like that's the unique differentiator that I see in you guys. And I actually, it makes me feel good to know, maybe I don't do it every day, but if I do it through you guys, maybe that could be my way or my connection.
Sure.
So my question, back to the question, what role does God play in your personal and business life?
All of it. There's not a role that he doesn't. And I think I've learned that when he doesn't play a role in every part of it, I end up in some weird spots in my life, unhealthy, stressful situations that had never had to be there. You know what I mean? Like when we were doing the event, when I was saying that something happened to me 5 days ago, that specific situation came because every time he was guiding me to not be in that situation or to think differently, I was ignoring it. Does that make sense? And so for me, it's hard to say that he plays every role. It sounds weird. It sounds crazy, But when I do put him in every position I'm at, like do it for the kingdom, it does change everything, So for me, it's everything. And I'm slowly stepping into it. That's why when we go to events like this or doing our podcast, anything like that, it's like, man, I built this platform without even doing in the industry. We built this platform without ever knowing. I don't know how to clean.
Yeah.
That's
and I'll
amazing.
never know how to clean.
We're gonna talk about that.
And I have no interest. But that's what I'm saying. Coach Burt said it, right? Like we had the vision, we saw an opportunity, but how the hell, like the diosidencias is what I like to say, like the God coincidence that are in our life, where like you just happen to marry a facilities manager. I saw his post on a Facebook group with thousands of salespeople, and for some weird reason, him was the reason that I got called into. And then you just start putting everything together. I'm like, it's all part of a big plan that I have zero say in.
Yeah.
I just got to execute.
I would just say, and I would just add on this, like an old mentor told me, like God is either your all or you're nothing. He's either everything or he's nothing. And like to me, I try not to like make my business and my personal life separate in terms of alignment of core values. So like I'm actually not like the typical, like I use the word God. I like to pray and all that, but I don't go to church and I don't dive into the Bible. I didn't grow up that way, but I connect to a God, a higher power, something bigger than myself and a vision. And as I connect to that vision grows, right? And my relationship with God, as I call it, grows. But when it comes down to alignment, like I wanna work with people that I like, that I'm aligned with, that I respect. Like it's like you guys, right? We can do this podcast, we can talk business, but then afterwards we can also hang out.
Yeah.
And would I feel comfortable with my sons being around you guys? Absolutely. Really, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's a big one.
Again, it's personal business. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
And like we don't only talk to people at our faith page, just so we're on the same page.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't feel that.
Yeah.
You could tell me you believe in fucking running your life through horoscopes, and I'm like, cool, bro, good for you. Like, hell yeah,
Whatever
bro.
makes you happy.
Yeah,
Whatever-
it doesn't.
Yep.
exactly.
So it's funny,
man.
dude. My sister's a nun, and she's in Rome. She's in Italy, next to the Pope. All those things, right? And you would assume that a nun, if you meet them, like their whole goal is to convert you. But I learned from her that that's actually the last thing in our mind. He's like, we just want to lend a heart, lend an ear. We just want to be there for people when they need us. And if they just happen to go, that's cool. Somebody that's a nun. I just talked to a nun and they happen to convert to God. Great. If they don't, no worries. We'll keep praying for people. So since I heard that, it's a little opposite than some other people believe in faith, that you just have to like almost be like gung-ho and intense and you know what I'm saying?
That is exactly the feeling I get. Like the first time at your other event, right? Again, I believe, I pray but the only thing I'm going to work on myself, and this is where I'm actually going to rely on you guys as ongoing, is I don't pray all the time. I pray when it's like, oh shit.
The foxhole prayer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I gotta get better.
I'm in too deep. I
gotta get better at that. But like the exercise you guys did, like Angel, I was following it, but then I tweaked it my own. Like I did my own different things to it. But
100%.
it actually, like stopping and pausing and doing that exercise, I got to think about things and talk. You know, like when my father passed away, I was talking to myself a lot.
Absolutely, bro.
I was in the shower.
That's what I was telling James. I was like, people weren't paying attention to me anymore during that time.
No. They were gone.
There comes a point where I just have to say stuff for the ones that like they snap back into like reality. I just need them to something to follow.
Yeah.
Like music, me.
Exactly
But
how it
outside
was.
of that, bro, I was like, people were no longer there. They were in their own thing, and then eventually I'll bring them back, and good for them, and so yeah, and that's a form of talking to God, meditation, peace, quiet.
Because you guys, I think you said it before, or maybe not. Vessel. You used the word vessel before, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
come to Jesus moment. I was like, this guy's like a vessel for me.
Yeah,
like,
awesome,
You know,
brother.
again, like I don't practice it all the time. I believe, but I feel like you don't have to practice.
Yeah, and
If
neither
you
do
believe,
I, man. Yeah,
that's it, right? Like you just have to believe, I think.
dude,
Belief is different than practice, for sure.
absolutely,
But I
but-
do still think that if you believe, you have to.
Yeah,
Practice. Like,
sure.
You can't believe in entrepreneurship and be an employee. That would be
Agreed.
a little odd.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is like I'm far from a perfect example of practice.
Yeah. Agreed. Same.
My original concept when it comes to business is like, and then relating back to spiritual life is, in business we believe in a concept bigger than ourselves, right? We believe in building something bigger for ourselves. Now, granted, it benefits us, right? But it's bigger. Like, I can't remember who said it the last few days. Maybe it was Dan Lindsay. But like, you hire an employee and you're impacting their household before, right?
It
Or you
multiplies
go.
by 4.
You got
You
multiplies
go,
by
yeah,
4.
right? So like, you're believing in a concept bigger than yourselves. For me, it's like same thing with God. I'm believing in a concept bigger than myself. When you're in that moment, whatever that moment is, it allows you to be present and allows you to get outside yourself. And like, when am I happiest? It's actually when I'm outside myself.
Okay.
When am I most miserable? It's actually when I'm trying to like put my needs first, whether that's my business, my personal life, and then I'm trying to like run that like internal rat race with myself, man.
So, Ricky, remind me, but that point is going to lead to the second half of the episode. Is I wanted to talk about that feeling, right? Because I feel like we're all on the same page where
Absolutely.
we like to connect, but the feeling you get when you made that connection and you served a purpose and you added value, right? But before that, I want to touch on, this is a question I forget to always answer, man, but I think this is a good one because you guys are so close and you're partners. And Angel, what would you say is James' strength and weakness? And if there is a weakness, which we all have,
Oh, definitely. We all
do
have
you
it.
try to help complement that or do you make him aware of that? And then this
So
is going to go back
strength-
to you, James.
Sure.
Strength, weakness. I love that I'm the first one. 'cause
No, I got to put you on.
No, strength and weakness. Okay. Strength and weakness. I want to say the right one. I can't just say, he has a lot of good strengths and a lot of weaknesses. We all do, right? His strength, I actually think his strength would be his core values, like his standards. I think that's the right word. Because, like, is he great at sales? Of course, right? But, like, he's so grounded in who he is as a person that no matter where I know no matter what, the business is going to be here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, his biggest strength to me is, like, almost like he's like the rock of
Yeah.
our partnership.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he's like the rock of the partnership. Like, I know
What you
no
need.
matter what,
You always
this
need-
is
you need that.
no matter what, nothing can get in between us. No matter what, nothing can get in between us. It's almost like a marriage. I always say I'm like the wife, but I don't know how I feel about that. But like, there's some partnerships that like, ooh, I can throw a wedge in right here, right now, and I'll break them.
And I'll break them.
You can't throw anything here, and I don't think I'm the one that does that. I think for sure he holds that.
Right.
Vice versa, his weakness as well is, I would say, what would we say? Anything logistical processes, anything that has like more than one moving piece.
Oh, we
around
share that
it,
weakness.
right? Like, he gets overwhelmed. Again, he'll figure it out, but he'll get overwhelmed. And so 100%, my goal is to complement that. Like, even in the event, I could tell he wanted to talk to the vendors, and he did. And my whole answer to him was like, you don't have to, bro. Like, that's what I'm here for, right? Like, I got you. This is, right?
I saw James in the back observing.
Yeah, he enjoys like watching the people,
Yeah.
hanging out with the speakers, engaging. I'm like, I got the because I like logistics,
Yeah.
right? And then the other thing that I compliment is, I would say, he's so grounded in his core values that after 5 p.m. he'll hardly ever work, right? Which is completely fine with me because he has a family. Like, family comes first, God comes first,
Yeah.
he comes first. So I compliment the side of where like I don't have that in my life right now. So if anything needs to get done after hours, after
You
5,
jump. You
really
got it.
early, I got it. And I'm completely cool with it because, again, he's the rock to the partnership.
Yeah.
So if I don't let a wedge in from my side,
Yep.
I know he's going to take care of me as a person no matter what. Does that make sense?
James,
Yeah,
what do you got?
That's well said. Angel like has a ton of strengths himself, but I would say 2 things. He's really good at taking complex situations and simplifying them for like a group of people, whether that's myself, our team. But like, he's a whiteboard master, and he can take the most complex situation and model something out to like simple forms for someone like myself to like get behind it and be able to run with it.
Cool. So we could borrow him?
Yeah, yeah, go for it, man.
Well,
I think that's a lot of people's weaknesses.
It's only $5,000 a year.
Yeah. But I think his biggest strength though is really influence when it comes to intensity and influencing people to do more. He's changed my life. He's influenced me to get closer to God, my wife, my fitness, but not just me, our team. Like he's the one that really influences a lot of like the core values that like I might possess. He amplifies it to actually move those forward. Like he'll call you on it.
Yeah.
And I might not always call you on it, but like he'll look at one of our team members and be like, okay, so why are you showing up late? How's it going with your husband?
Yeah.
Like what? Like, you know, and just to find out something's really wrong.
Right.
And
You
then
didn't ask that question.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
exactly.
Get that.
And then how that's impacting work. So like, I think that's a really admirable thing. His ability to be bold and intense, pushing like a positive influence. His weakness, I think sometimes his brain goes faster than like action or reality. Like meaning like, hey, we got to go. When it's like, sometimes it's like, hey, you know what? That can be good to push. That's that intensity piece to push things
But
forward.
you could also break.
But like, it's also like, hey, you also have to realize what's going on and enjoy this moment. Not just enjoy it, but also like moments take time to develop. And like, so
That's good.
and so
Step
to,
in.
bro.
and so,
Minute 36. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
All right.
moments take time to develop, and sometimes I don't want him to miss the moment. So that would, if that's a weakness, that's what I would call out.
Okay.
Bro, that's so true. I'm sorry, but that line was true.
That was
bro.
good.
He's got some lines. I'm gonna start having them quotes.
You gotta
bro.
write it down.
But yeah, dude, moments take time to develop, and I don't give it time to develop. That's like my one. Yeah,
But that's
you're
okay,
right.
because you can.
Well,
that's
but
a
I come to
compliment.
him, and then he slows me down in a great way.
In a
And
good
he's like,
way.
hey, sit down, relax.
Cool.
Man,
like,
we both go fast, so I don't know.
We need help. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back because now, next section is I want to get deep into the event that we just were a part of and a statement that these gentlemen made. So we'll be back in a few seconds.
We know managing a commercial cleaning company can be overwhelming. And let's not forget about managing your inventory and supplies. It's not an easy task to ensure you have everything you need to keep your operation running smoothly. That's why we're here to help you take control of your business so you can do what you do best. Managing your business. Introducing Raw Pulse, our innovative software designed specifically for commercial cleaning companies. We give you access to your data in real time to unlock the pulse of your business. With Raw Pulse, you can streamline your operations, optimize your resources, and grow your business like never before. Join the Raw Network today and supercharge your business. Discover the pulse of your business. Visit GetRoute.com or click the link below and schedule a demo. And let Route power your success.
All right, guys, we're back. So, like I said before we went to break, on this section, we want to go deep into the event that we just were able to be blessed to participate in. Sit back, relax, and absorb what you guys put together. Because again, we know what it takes to put these events on. We've done a few ourselves. You guys were a part of one, and there's a lot of behind the scenes, right? Not that we have to go deep in behind the scenes, but you guys, it was called Cleaning Profits 2.0. I was a part of the first one. Not night and day, because I don't think that's fair to say night and day.
I think it's pretty fair. By the way.
Improvement to the next level across all spectrums. But I will tell you that the one thing that stayed true, though, still, was the feeling you got from the camaraderie and the community that is being built. Right? I want to ask you guys, like, Cleaning Profits, for those that weren't able to attend, where did that name come from? What's the purpose? And then
Good thinking.
You put him on the spot.
It's
No,
like the
that's
whole
a
point,
good
right?
point,
Let's
bro.
go.
That's
No,
a
it's
good
like,
question.
like where, because again, it's a different brand, it's a different purpose. There's a different mission behind Cleaning Profits.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it. You guys don't come from the cleaning industry, so I'd love for people to know why. I'm not just telling you. I recommend that you pay attention and listen to these guys. Explain behind the Cleaning Profits name.
Well,
Yeah, you
I'll
take it on,
kick
take it
us
on.
off.
This is the point of
Yeah,
a host,
yeah.
is you're supposed to get a reaction
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Right.
No.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah.
I'll kick us off a little bit here. One, I don't actually know how we got to the name itself, which is going to sound weird, but there's a few things that come to mind. One, like watching what you guys did at Cleaning and Cocktails Chicago was a huge inspiration, right? And one thing we realized was like a lot of the people that we met at Cleaning and Cocktails were really like based in some sort of like purpose or faith of like wanting more, not just in business, but also in life, personal. And that's like one strong area that Angel and I really believe in. And then when we dealt with our clients, we were like, okay, clients, sales are down, leads are bad, operations suck, whatever. Really, at the core of it, we're like, man, they're struggling with mindset. They're struggling with stress management, fitness, whatever the case may be, health. So like a lot of it was like we were seeing like kind of like areas of opportunity and like gaps within our clients we wish that we could educate them on. And then like when we met people, we were like, man, these people are really grounded and they have a purpose to drive more. And Angel came up with the name actually. Like I know that, and you say it best. Prophesize yourself, prophesize a God, a spiritual being, and then prophesize prophets or something along those lines. And
yeah, I mean, I think like, have you ever seen the show The Prophet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like Prophet.
Marcus.
F-I-T, yeah, Marcus Lemonis. So we have the Profitable Cleaner. So I was like, how do we stick with, how do we stay in brand?
Synonymous.
Profit. So it's profit, but it's cleaning profits. So, and the only reason it's profit, P-H-E-T, and then a money sign is because one, we want that. Everybody wants to prophesize like success, but we really wanted to prophesize that people could live the life that they wanted. Like they don't have to sacrifice family, health. They don't have to sacrifice themselves for the business. And so that was the prophecy that we wanted to give. So like actually in the event one, if you go through the recordings and how we introduced the event ever, that's what we want. Yeah. We want everybody to believe, like start a prophecy. And then the ones that started the prophecies were the prophets, disciples, the people that got the message from God and then allowed others to take it. And so that's how we kind of came up with cleaning prophets.
And I'll tell you guys, for those, again, that haven't met Angel and James, we're going to have all their information so you guys can get to know them and follow them. That is the piece that I think is the answer to how you guys are able to embark in what you're doing in the cleaning industry without having the business knowledge of it, because you don't need business knowledge when you're talking about personal development and mindset. Yeah. And that's the next question I want to ask is, what infatuated you guys with mindset and personal development?
Suffering, honestly. I feel like I had no choice but to either personally develop or just fall victim to the bullshit that I was going through, right? So I was really blessed at a young age to be exposed to like some really great mentors and just personal development, people and things. And then I realized I got stagnant. And then you hit another level. And then I jumped into business, and then I'm realizing business talks all about leadership. What is leadership? It's just personal development, right? So it's like, okay, you start developing more. And then I became a father, I got stagnant. I became a husband, I got stagnant.
So there's events.
Yeah, I suffered, right? And when I suffer, I move. What do I rely on when I move? I rely on a higher power and then trying to develop more. And then I met Angel and I got a partner with Angel. And I said one of his biggest things is influence and intensity. And he really believes in personal development like I've never seen anyone believe in it.
And dude, he's a young kid.
He's a
young kid. I call you a kid, bro. Look at him. He looks like he's 21.
Dude, he's not even 30 yet, man.
22.
Yeah. No. And
I had to sign a waiver to drink this.
and I was probably at the most stagnant place when I met Angel, believe it or not. I thought I needed sales training. No, really, I just needed fellowship from someone that aligned with my core values, and he was able to intensify those core values. So to me, my development comes from suffering.
Isn't he good? Can somebody write that down again? Jesus. No. Why do I believe in personal development? Yeah, because I think when you're not doing it, life sucks. It's that simple. I like damn. So basically, how did I start? So basically, when I think like moving here illegally made me believe in it a lot. Moving here, because like I remember like during elementary and middle school, like we couldn't really get any attention. Like you go to the schools, but since you don't have a social security number, you stay under the radar, stay quiet, do your work. Don't do too good of work, because then you get recognized. And if you get recognized, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna look at your file, right? Like you're almost like in And like you're just in this line. You're almost like I remember our parents
In the shadows.
training us. Yeah,
That's
in
what
the
I call it.
shadows.
You're in the shadows.
Exactly. And then
You
eventually
just
we
got out of the shadow, right? No.
Hey,
Hey,
welcome to the U.S. of A, baby.
man.
I fucking love the U.S. But yeah, and then eventually I became a resident. I started learning how to speak up, and I found out like 3 years ago that I wouldn't never speak up, which was really interesting. Even though I'm a really, like you said, intense person. But I remember going to my first ever event. I was like hooked on cocaine. I did a lot of like drugs. I did a good sales job, but I was like spend my money I just had a fucking mess. Parents didn't like want to talk to me anymore. And I remember like I had one credit card left, so I maxed it out and went to an event called the $1 Billion Brotherhood in San Diego, California. Nicholas Barely, shout out in case you hear this. And I was there with a bunch of entrepreneurs, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? I was like, this is what's going on here? Like, and they were like, what are you doing? I'm like, actually nothing, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
I was
it out.
cold calling a call center actually, and I was like, what is going on? And this wasn't long ago. This was like 2016? And I was like, what is going on here? No, 2017. Yeah, I just gotten out of college. I survived less than a year in my first corporate job. And I was like, what is going on? Started learning. They were faith-based. And there's a lot of things in their perfect life, not perfect, but their ideal lifestyle.
Their ideal lifestyle.
And so I came back and I was just like, I need to do something. And so I just started learning, started paying to be in rooms, started getting mentors. I just started going. And since then, I just haven't stopped. And, I think life is great when you're progressing. Even if you don't have the results that you want already. Like in my bank account, I'm not a millionaire, but in my mind, I'm a billionaire.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And so, but if I start acting like a billionaire now, like eventually the transfer will come through eventually.
Yeah.
The transfer's on its way. It's just my wire's taking a little too long,
Yeah. So that actually segues into a good piece that I wanted to talk about. Like you guys have you're on different paths right now.
No.
Per se, right?
No.
Different, right?
100%.
Okay.
We are like, he's going this way, I'm going this way, but the business is going this way.
There you go.
Does that make sense?
And that's-
going together.
Dude, I got teed it up. So harmony.
Well said.
To each his own is.
Yeah, man. I get fuel from business. Man, I get fucking fuel from business.
Did you hear that, Marley? Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I also
But he's coming with a butt, bro.
No. Damn it. Never mind.
Too early.
But Marley, I also get drained from business at times too. And when I'm drained, when I'm drained, and then I gotta go show up with a 6-year-old.
exactly.
Man, that's fucking hard.
Yep.
So then it's like, but there's other times on a Saturday morning, and my email's quiet for whatever reason, and I'm with my kids or I'm with my wife, and like, dude, I get fuel from that, right? Mm-hmm. And then if I get a business call, that is a hard transition. So it's like, what's my self-alignment with like what I want? And I know when I'm like 90 years old on a deathbed, whatever meeting we had or we're supposed to have or email, that doesn't really fucking matter.
Dude, that's all. Everybody at the office, right? Like it's the 6 o'clock thing. I guess that's a common thing. But my wife, the team knows, right? Ricky knows. Like when Marley calls 3 times, it's 6. You don't even don't look at the clock. And then mentally I'm like, I got to get in the car. I got to make sure if I take the FaceTime, I know you know this, Marley. I'm in the car. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And dude, she tells me, and I want to repeat this because it really hits home. Is she's like, when you get home, don't come in the door. If you're on a call, you got an email to finish. You got to finish that text.
Good.
She's like, just do me a favor, because I got you. Do it. But when you come in, that first hour, give me the first hour. Put the phone. Again, I fail many times, right?
That's why you don't pick up my calls. I see it.
And then see, I'm the Ricky of the
So
I
she's
call
good.
after 6 sometimes.
And she says, because dude, I love the second part you said of drain, because she's like, Rick, I know when you had a bad moment and when that email triggered something or that text triggered, because then she's like, dude, you bring it to us then. And now our family deals with that.
Totally.
And you're right, when you don't have your phone for 2-3 hours, that's why I love when the kids take my phone. It's like, hey, they got my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that drive. Now there's a different fuel.
Yeah.
You don't even care about the
Yeah.
email or the message.
Yeah.
So she's like, just be aware of that. Like, you may not know, but Rick, I could see it on your face.
That's why they're called our better half, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's good.
Something that you said, when we go to an event and the next day we show up, we go home and we're drained. And my wife, she called me out. she called me out and said, well, you come from an event, but because now I came from an event, I want to, oh, I'm drained, I'm tired, I just want to relax. Like, no, I got to make time for them too. So we got to get better at that.
I think
You
it's
don't like make time. You don't make time, right? Time is already made. You prioritize.
Yeah,
time.
prioritize.
That's all. Like that. It's like you got to know what game you're playing in the moment, right? And so like even me as a business partner, I got to figure out what game I'm playing. Am I playing the game where I can tell that he needs to be with his family, therefore literally like have a team meeting and tell the team if you bother him, like we're gonna have problems, you come to me, right? Like what are we what game are you playing as the other better half, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And so like even when he goes home, like sometimes we'll be like, hey, let's have a meeting now, and I'm like, nah, bro, take Thursday, take Friday, and take the rest. I'll handle
Can
the
you do
team
that a
now.
little bit more for me, please?
Right?
Come
Like,
on. This guy.
we're just having therapy here, brother. No, but like that's like prioritizing time. Like as soon as I walk into the door, it's true. Like that's why I don't take my laptop to home. I have an iPad if I absolutely need to. Then I'll use my iPad. But most of the time, if it's really truly an emergency, if you already have the level set in place, you should be the last call. So then you can take the call. But it's rare. Sometimes it's the little things because you don't have processes that people then go, oh, let me go to James. And it's like, sometimes I'll see James work on stuff that I'm like, why are you working on that? Like, I was like, why are you fixing that? That's not your role. Like, you need to pick your role. Your role's over there, you know? And same vice versa. That goes in the relationships.
Totally.
So one thing I wanted to touch on, because I thought it was pretty cool, because I got to understand this through the event. So back to the event. You guys had a theme. You guys had a theme. Share what that theme was, and like, did you guys go into the event thinking of the theme, or did the theme present itself to you guys?
I'll let you take that one to kick it off.
How did I come up with that? I
You
have
tell
no
me.
clue.
I got a crazy idea, bro. That's how you started
That's how I always start my messages. Again, everything that I do is I'm doing it not doing it for myself, but talking to myself. Does that make sense? And so I think like the first event we ever did was, who the fuck are these guys? Like no cleaning company, no experience, not even like intense sales experience as far as like, we've never actually closed the cleaning contract. Us, like with James Harper and the name and Angel. No, we just know how to do what we do, right? But I think for us, it was just, this was the year where we told James, like, this is it. Like, this is where we're going to stake our flag in the industry and make sure that it doesn't move. The last one was more like, oh, cool, there's two little dudes doing their thing here and there.
Let's see
like,
what's up.
that's interesting. Yeah, let's see if they stay here long enough. This one for me was, all right, this is where we stake our flag. Boom. And we make a statement as a company and then as people too. So I think that's why I created the statement. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's why I did it. But I don't know if there was something deeper. I'm just being transparent here.
To me, it just made sense, like the message. It's like we're always making statements to ourselves. We're making statements to our team. And then as leaders, and I want to surround myself with leaders, and I believe there's a lot of leaders in that room, is like we're making statements to our team when they're not, or what's our team making a statement about when they're not in the room, the leader themselves. So that concept just makes sense to me. And ultimately, man, like when I think of what I love about the cleaning industry the most is the people. Like, man, I love everyone that comes to the event. Like, it's just phenomenal. And they all make statements to us, if I'm being honest. Like I called out Babco, right? When they walk in the room, they make a statement, dude. There's some they hold a presence. Like, I think, like, you know, there's some, like when I'm around ambassador services and like Alex Melgard's team, like, dude, like the CEO, Carlos Telles of Ambassador, he holds a presence. He makes a statement to me, right? And like,
they don't make noise, they make statements.
Yeah,
right?
they don't make noise, they make a statement. It's like, man, we all have the ability to do that, but we intentionally don't or unintentionally don't. And like, can we collectively put that at the forefront and actually get serious about it? Like, I think there's so many badass companies in that room that if they were intentional about making a statement, they would make a statement. And I don't know, it just made sense when you said it.
Here's something crazy though. Now, again, we're back to diosidencias or coincidence by God. I came up with this thing, and I know it was because of like putting our flag. I didn't know it was gonna be something that I then needed 6 months later. Does that
Like it's-
doesn't that trip you out? Like
Yeah.
if the event wasn't called The Statement and I wasn't gonna do a talk about power,
And what you
then
just went
what I
through.
just went through wouldn't
Yeah.
have made any sense
Yeah.
because
Right.
then what would be the statement and why would I need inner power? I could have just done a sales training, which I
Yeah.
did last year. Last year
Yeah.
I did a sales training.
Correct.
So it's like when you start thinking about all this, it's like, was it me that came up with cleaning profits and the statement, or was it just a direct God download in my brain and just go, you'll need this later, save it for yourself. You'll need this later, save it for yourself.
Just,
and then it's like,
just listen.
boom, 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 boom. Exactly. Just execute. I got a plan for you. And then we get here, bro. And that's why I'm sitting there and I'm like, what? Like, dude, we do this thing where we don't see the presentations of our speakers ever. We just say, hey, this is what we want to give. This is the statement. Do your thing. And then they come to us and they're like, do you think this is good? And we're like, I don't care. This is your
This is
statement. You.
That's good.
And we never, so like, we're
'Cause you
watching
see
the
some
speakers,
events that
bro.
does happen.
Yeah, and they were like, can you make sure that this is what you want for your attendees? And I'm like, I don't know what my attendees want. I know what they say they want.
Like,
but
you're
I don't
asking
know. I
them
don't
for
know
a
what they
reason.
need. I don't know
Yeah.
what they actually need at their core, just like what I needed here. And so people are like, oh, did you see their presentations? I'm like, they send it to us. Andrea puts it together. Shout out to Andrea. And then we don't do anything. We don't watch it. We don't.
I just saw it live.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
real
And
talk.
funny
Real
enough, sometimes
talk.
we don't even watch it live. We have like this weird rule where we can't watch all.
I
of
don't
it.
even watch I don't
Yeah.
watch the episodes.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't even like to listen.
And
I got a raspy ass voice.
I don't do it
I'm
because
like,
I don't
Yeah.
want to watch them, just so I'm on the same page. Except Coach Bert. I watched all of Coach Bert, but the reason I don't like watching it is so that I don't get biased, because then the speakers come to me and they're like, how was it? How did I do? What do you
Right.
think? I'm like, don't ask me, ask them. They'll tell you if you're
Yeah,
back.
it doesn't matter
not
what you
me.
guys.
Yeah.
It
Doesn't matter what I say. If they say you're
Yeah.
back, you're back. If not, no.
Nice, man. Well, as we wrap up,
I have a
got
question
something?
before. Yeah,
Alright.
I wanted to ask, but you guys are great, and you know.
We could do
Uh,
an extended version.
eh,
Just saying.
So, what was one thing that you could say that you learned from your first event that you were able to apply to your second event? Something that you learned on your first event that you said, okay, now coming into the second event,
like either good or bad, right?
Yeah,
like,
good or
Because
bad.
there's some things you guys double down on.
Sure. Mine would just be like authenticity. I was so like, I won't lie, man. Hosting that first event, like you guys.
It's scary.
You guys really were like impressive to me in the sense of like how many times you've done it. And then like we're going into it and we're like, oh, there's events like cleaning and cocktails. There's events like ISSA. And then, you got AJ Simmons doing his thing. There's all these different people doing their thing, right?
Debbie
And
Sardone.
Debbie Sardone, yeah, you guys, and like,
Hers is nuts.
and you guys
This
are
is
like
intense.
and like everyone in their own ways badass, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, who are we? Like I know ours. I went into our first event, frankly speaking, very insecure. And now, granted, it was still a good event, and I will forever be grateful for that event. But like, I think that's just a God thing. We put so much energy and effort into it, but I wasn't my authentic self at that event. Like, I look back at that event, I hate the pictures. I hate any recordings I have from it. I actually have a negative connotation of that event, even though everyone else really liked it. This event, exact opposite. I had to like
This is
double
you.
down
This
on
is
working in myself, and I called Angel like 2 weeks before, and I'm like, we look up to a lot of different entrepreneurs out there, and I'm like, we're not Andy Elliott, we're not Ed Milet, we're not any of these guys
You
that
don't
we
have to
love.
be.
Yeah, we don't have
Right.
to be. We are us, right? And so let's go in like that. And that's why we're like, okay, let's just make it like podcast style, like we are. And we just did that, and I felt more authentic this time, man. So a lot more confident this time, and the logistics were easier because Angel and I did everything last event, and it was a mess. This time we had Andrea, our gal in
We need to
Spain,
learn from that.
crushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say for me, three things. I think we thought profit over paycheck this time around. We have like a rule we say every time. If it brings profit over a paycheck, we win. And we actually invested more money into this event than we did last year.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that showed.
For
right
sure.
away.
Yeah.
First impressions matter. People walked in.
They do. Yeah.
Boom. Changes your state. The second one, we have a mentor now for this. And I think that was a game changer. Because we think differently, and then you bring in a third person to like guide you or challenge all your thoughts, and you're like, damn, I could be thinking bigger. Damn, we could be doing that. Damn, we should be doing this. And that helped a lot. Obviously, one of his ideas was, get a coordinator. If not, we would have been doing it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, get a coordinator, we got it, oof, life easier. We guided the coordinator, of course, we still got to lead it, but they execute.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this one was interesting, similar to what he said. Last year, I thought people were there to see speakers and to network. Of course, they're there to do that. But I actually
That's
learned,
part of it already,
yeah,
right?
But I actually learned that they're actually there to see us, and I never understood that out of an event. I thought, get the best speakers, because I've gone to other entrepreneur events. Like, get the best speakers, get the best food, get the best this, best. And then you like the bigger you get, like the more you diminish what you do. And well, again, another mentor.
You don't give yourself space.
Actually, Yagal, shout out to Yagal. He would just send you random reminders quarterly and say, quick reminder, they're there to see you. And since the more he kept saying that, the more we're like, okay, it's time that we make that statement, that we step up. And so that's like a big lesson. And that's why we did keynotes. That's why we did trainings. That's why we don't have MCs. That's why we did the podcast. That's why we did like so many things that we've never done before. That's just because like that's who we are as people. So let's just be those people. That's why we prayed over people. That's like you guys don't know, but before the event, we like sat there and then we prayed over the whole over the chairs and the tables. We didn't do that last time. We were praying last time so that we didn't break on stage, and so we didn't freak out, and didn't break. You know what I'm saying? This time we were like, let's be honest. What would we do?
Please.
Yeah, exactly. So
I do that every day.
No, that was a great question, Rick. That was good. So let's not rap, but let's set the tone for the next.
Did you know he can rap though?
Next conversation. You want to drop a line? Come on.
He used to rap,
Let's
bro.
drop a line.
Wait,
Bro.
dude.
Come on.
Come on.
Oh my God. This guy is.
Let's drop.
He does
We'll
rap.
give you.
He's thinking.
Let's
Yeah,
give you a
about
little
it,
bit.
think about it.
Think about it. Drop us a line to take us to
About the clean
next.
industry, maybe the next event.
Oh my God.
Take us to 2024.
Oh
Let's talk
my
about something
God.
else. All right.
This guy, he's just so funny.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Love
just
it.
so funny.
All right.
We,
Angel.
Do you
So
need
I'm
a
gonna,
beat or
I'm,
what?
no, we
Oh,
don't.
we're not
I'm
doing
gonna,
it. I thought
I'm
we
gonna
were
give you some
doing it.
space. I'm gonna give you some space.
Like, do you want me to
Work on it. Work on it.
No, I don't.
Are we doing a beat? What do you want? How beat? What better of a tempo?
I don't really want to rap. I don't really want to fail. But I guess I gotta speak on cleaning and cocktails. This is how we do it, and we all get down. I don't really care if these haters don't like the sound. Wait. Let me clear the plate. This is how we do it, but we don't need cake. We're out for bread, if you know what I mean. This is how we do it, and we keep it clean. Yes, I'm keeping it industry specific. If you don't like with it, then don't get it twisted. I'm just sitting here spitting venom with my Chi-Town cats and my homies too. This is how we do it, so I rock my crew. Cleaning Profits 2.0, now it's on to the third. I think I gotta be done. I'm done with the verse.
Hey everybody, you heard what James said. Cleaning Profits 2.0 was a major success last year, and this year's 3.0 event is going to be even bigger. The details are September 24th to the 26th in Denver, Colorado. Make sure to use our code CNC for all the Cleaning and Cocktails community as well as the Route community to make sure you take advantage of this event. Remember, we're building a stronger together community, so I better see you all there.